What a bold reading for the Divine Masculine. We're going to get into it. For those of you that don't know, I'm your host, Yildiz from Yildiz Readings. I use my skills as a psychic medium, clairvoyant, and intuitive astrology to guide the collective. Now, we do host these weekly. Go through and take a look. All the editions are out, and we are going to jump straight into this. And this read, very similar to the others, it's very changeable, and I do think it's something to do with our transits. As we're looking to the Divine Masculine this week, the first message I was getting is that we define our path. And I feel that this person is in that Aries energy and really feeling as though, you know what, come hell or high water, I am going to actually choose differently. Some things are chosen for us. I'm almost looking at this like, you know, be careful what you choose with this crown energy. And it's about how you show up. And I feel this person is really looking at this, you know, the giving and receiving, you know, the people that are there for them, the people that are not. It's like they're looking at it and they feel they've dissected that for a lifetime. Okay? They really feel as though they have dissected that. They have met the most unhealthy individuals. They have been healthy. They have tried to work with people. They've had other people that haven't. Like they have grieved that, and they're like, you know what? It's all said and done. I'm not even going to think about that anymore. I know who's with me. I know who's against me. I'm forging my path. I'm defining my new reality. Now, whatever was retrieved in these retrogrades, I believe this week this is something that they're moving through. I believe this week it's something that they're having a revelation about. And even when we look to the past position, we have win or lose. It's like I said, they're like, you know what? This is where I am today. I need to deal. I need to deal with things. I need to address things. I can look to the past. But that's not changing the fact that, yes, okay, I've had great times, I've had hard times. This is a 5 as well. And I mentioned this starting off, for some reason, I was seeing that the beginning of the year is all change, okay? I would not be surprised if you guys have been seeing the 5s. And if you have, it's like, be careful what you ask for. You ask for the change. You know, in the signifier of it, this is change because we are ending that 9 energy. We have brought some of that 9 energy from last year into 2026, but we are in that new chapter stage of planting seeds, having new things start, having these revelations of who the new version of us is. And even though we can be faced with some obstacles and faced with do this right this time, because we have learned a lot, you know, I did say, I believe it was last week, that the way I was viewing the last 2 years was like Alice in Wonderland and the Mad Hatter and getting stuck at the tea party and going, why am I here? Where am I? How do I get home? How do we get out of Dodge? So, you know, I'm not surprised that this has come through. I'm not surprised that from, you know, the blue coming through, very Mercury in nature, everything that they've endured, everything that they've thought, they're like, you know what, it doesn't matter anymore. Because this is where I am today. Really looking at their contracts, really looking at their partnerships, really looking at what what they're bound in and what they need to address, and what they're willing to tie themselves into, regardless of the circumstance. What am I passionate about? And look at this, they're taking the lead. They're like, you know what? I'm ready to actually move forward and take the lead on this. And again, it's Mercury, it's 3. It's like I'm taking the actions, I'm having the conversations, I'm stating where I'm going. I define my path. This is very defined. Very, very defined. It's like, oh no, you will not tell me. I know what to do. I know what I need. I am creating balance. And that, like, it's funny because we look at the top and it was a 5. Look at how they're actually matching. The bottom row with the balance and the top row, it's like the foreshadowing. It's like, I know what I'm willing to lose, I know what I'm not. This is without fear. This is like, look, I'm going in. I'm going in, I'm dealing, I'm leaving situations that don't resonate with me. I've been in the hangman position. I'm facing my fears. I will make sacrifices for the things that I feel are relevant to me. And this can mean I have to leave one particular direction to go in the direction that I feel is more connected to me and as I define my path. And again, we get the outcome card. Another 5. You know, the first thing I heard when I saw this card, like a ghost, I'll be gone. They're leaving a path behind her. They're like, no, can't convince me any further. Not picking from the same cup I did before in a toxic way. I'm really moving forward. I know what I'm connected to. Whatever was biting me, I'm untangling myself. I'm taking the lead. I'll do it myself. Nobody convinced me to do otherwise. I will do it myself. I have power within my hands. I have power within my mind. Nobody can cloud my mind and my judgment. I've seen enough. The bottom card drops to a 5. The top card drops to a 5. The outcome card drops to a 5. Change. This is going to be one of the biggest changes in attitudes, beliefs, directions. They're like, I know I've got something. I know I have a lot ahead of me. But I'm not going to get into the mindset of getting into my head and thinking everything's going to be rose-colored glasses and perfect. Some people will not be there for me. That is a given, but I know who I am. We're going to go into clarifying. I want to get to the heart of it, but yeah, they're not wanting to bigger with anything of the past. They're not. They do feel that the divine feminine has been the biggest transformation in their life that they've ever had. They also feel that if somebody truly accepts them, they're there for the long haul, and that can even pertain to looking in at karmics, looking in at tribe and family, looking in at jobs. You know, it's just over the board they've changed. These are individuals that feel they want to circle themselves with purpose. They want to, you know, there's a lot they had to go through to learn these things. And they feel there's a lot more to learn, but there's a lot more out there. Okay, some major conversation has played out to cause this. Does this have to be with the divine feminine? No, I don't think so. I think this is to do with circumstances that were blocking them and the things that just weren't fitting their life any longer. They could be giving it peace and love and light and sending it on its way. And again, they're like, I'll start again. That's cool. I will start again. What I don't value, I can't invest in. And they can't fake it. This is like, I can't fake it any longer. This is a big conversation. Sorry, I can't fake it anymore. They had been considering this from last year. Different pieces and elements in their life. And they had a different timeline, but the timeline's been chosen for them. And they're actually incredibly grateful for this. They're not like, oh my gosh, you know, why is this happening? You know, where it comes to their power and the things they couldn't bring together, they're just bidding it goodbye. Because they realize in order to get their life where it needed to be, some obstacles needed to be eliminated. Sometimes tower moments actually create those doors. And so that thought process now has evolved, and they know there's more. It's almost like they felt that some of the things they were doing was actually taking them towards bringing consistency in life, but it was actually making it more inconsistent. So they're like, okay, now I have room to do that. Now I have room that I've freed myself to actually make the changes where it stands. There can be a social group that's almost falling over, like, oh my gosh, like what has happened? I do feel that they may communicate with the divine feminine about some of the decisions that they've made. And I feel this relates to last week's read. So if you haven't seen that, go through and see it, because I do really think these two link. And also think it links to the karmic path. They feel like they're showing me an image of the Fool card in Tarot. And, you know, it's like they believed that the steps they were taking was liberating them. But it feels heavy on their shoulder. It's like they've been dragging a horse around, Florence and the Machine. Like, wow, this is really heavy. Like, why can't I get no momentum? And again, similar, we have the Pluto card. This happened last week. I think it was in the karmic read. So I do think this has a reference. They've been dragging a circumstance around, and it feels like it's just got to go. This circumstance, this situation, this entanglement that was dragging them down. It's dragging them down too far. It feels very fatiguing, even tuning into it. A lot of times when I'm channeling messages, I will always know when there is somebody in the person's life actually siphoning their energy, because I'll start yawning, and I really want to start yawning right now. So I do think this situation, it's exhausting. They're like, you know, I have to untangle this. I'm losing momentum. It's like I've got dirty oil in my car and it just won't move. They're like, I have to cut it off. I've got to cut it off. Now, we do cover the path for you, and we are building the resources. All 3 editions are out now. Feel free to tell me how they resonate with you this week. And if you do want a personal booking or to sign up to a brand new Sage in a Circle Network membership, you can find our landing page and all the information directly below. Otherwise, I will see you for next week's edition, and stay tuned for our online energy updates.